AITA for telling my husband I'll go back to work if he doesn't give me 50% of his earnings. I'm currently a SOM. I never wanted to be one. But when I had my kid, it broke my heart when I could barely spend time with her due to my work. I wanted at least one parent to be with her while she grows up. He wanted the same too. So I decided to quit my job. I had some savings. I could manage for a while. He told me he'd support us well. I was earning thrice as much as him, and our lifestyle would take a temporary hit, but we wouldn't be in trouble. When we both were working, we mostly split the chores 50-50, but now it became 100 me and 0 him. I was taking care of the baby, the house, groceries, taxes, walking the dog, cleaning and watering, maintenance, etc. I was beyond exhausted. I asked him for help occasionally and he made a big show of doing it. Said I'm not going to work anyway, so I should be doing all of this by myself with no help from him. I agree that I should be doing a lot, but not everything. He would act like he was a benevolent God if he washed one dish, and it was getting on my nerves. He wanted me to cook what he wanted whenever he wanted, learn to cook new things for him when he felt like it, to do his laundry and clean up after him constantly, which pissed me off. I also realized I was still paying for most of the household expenses from my savings, and he was barely contributing anything. So I told him that he's treating me like trash, like a live-in maid, and I can't take being ignored and expected to serve him constantly. He told me this is what a SOM should do. So I told him that unless he gives me 50% of his salary for household expenses and baby expenses, and contributes at home at least 25%, I will go back to work. He threw a huge fit about it, and I called up my old job, who had been dying to have me back, and set up an interview. A formality, honestly. They will take me back with no questions asked. He's sulking, saying I should be home with the baby. I'd rather continue to earn and come home to the baby than act as his butler. AITA, I really don't know. NTA, why isn't the SAHF if you earn so much more than him? You're not just his free live-in maid. You actually pay for it. It makes absolutely 0 sense. NTA, he's the sole financial contributor to the household but expects you to pay the household costs from savings. Unreal. NTA, he sounds not very bright and has totally missed the point of what a SOM does. Tell him if he feels so strongly he can stay at home and be treated the way he is treating you. I bet the farm that he doesn't take that offer up. At this point with the sulking etc., it sounds like you are dealing with 2 children. Maybe you should ditch one. NTA, what are you getting out of this marriage? NTA, this irritates and upsets me to read because this is exactly what my father did to my mother. You are not a maid. You are a mom. A super mom, it sounds it. He can't expect you to do everything at his command on the daily. Being the sole income earner does not give someone the right to treat their partner like shit. I hope you're okay and can figure out something where you can go back to work and look after yourself more. NTA, go back to work. He's awful. You'll need your income for the divorce and sadly, you'll end up paying him alimony cause you make so much more. NTA, but I was still paying for most of the household expenses from my savings, and he was barely contributing anything. Seems like your marriage has 0 financial planning. He's obviously an ass, but this is also on you for letting it get this far. This is a conversation that needed to happen before the kid. Well, before the wedding, preferably. NTA, but I disagree with your 50% request. 100% of his income belongs to the family, to be first spent keeping the family housed, fed and clothed, and then on whatever else you both agree to fund money for each of you. Savings, whatever. NTA, you're essentially a single parent at the moment if he's not contributing financially, physically by helping with the house, emotionally by supporting you or assisting with raising his child. He has shown you his true colors on where he feels he belongs in the relationship. At no point does a SOM mean slave. It means primary caregiver for your child. NTA, SOM is a job. The fact that OP had to take from her own savings to fund the household bills is ridiculous. Also, SOM is also a 24/7 job compared to his, since she is taking on the kid and household. Him not wanting to at least give her a break or even funds for the work she does makes him an ungrateful a-hole. He threw a tantrum and now is sulking, saying that she should be with the baby. Honestly, I think this is a control thing. He wants his wife at home constantly and to be serving him whenever he wants to keep tabs on her. OP, you may want to think and reassess your relationship if you two think about having more kids if he is this childish. NTA at all. Jesus Christ, does your husband realize it's 2020? Men aren't automatically put on a pedestal to be worshipped by their wives anymore. He absolutely is tough for treating you this way. And I think you two need to either have a long hard talk, get him some kind of help to get to the bottom of why he thinks it's okay to treat the mother of his child this way, or maybe even separate. I apologize if at any point I came across harsh. This is a trigger for me. It makes me furious when things like this happen. Men help make the babies. They can damn well step up and stop acting like damn babies themselves and start acting like the fathers they want to call themselves. NTA. He's more concerned about having a live-in mommy for him rather than his baby. What a grown-ass brat. NTA. Stand on your own 2 feet and make sure that you are stashing money into savings in your retirement account, because your husband sounds like an entitled leech. NTA. Having your own income is important because you need to be able to look after yourself if something goes wrong with your husband. NTA. He should be funding your lifestyle and covering all bills, especially if he is expecting you to do 100% of all chores. That way you could use your savings to fund a gardener or handyman and outsource some chores that are too much for you. NTA. If he isn't contributing, then go back to work. And don't give him anything from your own pocket either. NTA. You're not his servant. If working makes you happier, go for it. NTA. When I first read the title, I thought this was going to go a different way. You are doing everything and paying all bills out of your savings. You are a saint. Why even have him around then? I'd be seriously reconsidering my relationship if my spouse acted like this. NTA. Your husband's being manipulative and toxic as hell. NTA. Your husband has zero respect for you and your family.
If you enjoyed this video, please check out our playlists full of similar content. AmITheAsshole is like doom scrolling for your ears. Please like, share, and subscribe.